Hey, ladies and gentlemen, haven't actually awakened yet. It's 6 in the morning, and I am going to tell you that I am sorry. What are you sorry for? Would you shut up and go back to sleep? I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be waking people up around here. I am sorry that many of you have had to have that experience. What experience you talking about? Didn't I tell? Sorry about that, y'all. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, none of you have ever been through anything like that stupid COVID lockdown experience. Okay, you guys were literally imprisoned in your own homes. Yeah, they called it a lockdown. They called it a lockdown for a reason because that's what happens in prison. That's what happens in the military. They lock down bases, and in prison, they lock down yards. And so you all got to experience prison. You didn't look at it like that because you couldn't see it like that, but people who have been to prison or been to jail have been through lockdowns. That's why they fared better than individuals who had not had such an experience. Now, unlike you, I knew it was coming. I had done so many videos trying to warn people, hey, they getting ready to do something stupid. And, oh, no. Some people will say, oh, it was from Wuhan, China. That's what happened. Please. My name ain't James Brown. It ain't from no Wuhan, China. No. There may have been something that started from Wuhan, China. But remember, it was the United States who had somebody who was sick. A whole ship of people who they said were sick. They had them offshore. Everybody knows you're supposed to quarantine. Everybody knows that's what the whole lockdown was for quarantining. So why didn't they lock down the ship? Well, they did at first. Look, I'm not going to tell you again. I'm just saying they did. Ladies and gentlemen, then they let the people off that ship onto the mainland? Who would do such a thing? And then they let them back into society and didn't think it was going to spread to anybody? I know y'all know what I'm talking about because I remember it. I remember the stories. I remember telling everybody that don't make any sense. That's not what you do when people are sick. You don't just sit up there and bring them in with other people. All you got to do is wear a mask. I'm sorry. That idiot's going to keep interfering. Yep, that's what happens when you wake people up in the morning at 6 in the morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you picked up and a lot of you rehashed a lot of old habits during that lockdown. Gambling, pornography, beating, hitting on others, anger. Instead of working on yourselves, many of you reverted back to your primal nature. Now, I apologize because primal nature means that you were primates originally, and that's not what I'm implying. Because even though man is created in God's image, not that we look like him. Oh God, no. That's why every man looks different than the other. Come on now. That's not the image it's talking about. Man has the ability of love, displaying justice, not justice as in administering justice, but displaying justice, humility. You see, no other creature on the planet has the ability of doing all of those characteristics, of displaying wisdom. You see, man is wise, but some animals are instinctively wise. See, they operate on instinct. We operate on, hey, we have an inherent ability. We can enhance and improve our instincts We can enhance and improve our ability to love. We can enhance and improve. Animals can't do that. Go ahead. An animal is just an animal, is just an animal, is just an animal. And some of us started acting like animals. The only problem is we picked up a lot of bad habits. I say we, putting myself in that because I cannot put myself out of it if I'm going to be mentioning it. What bad habits you picked up? Sitting up here dealing with you, you stupid idiot. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to, God, why you people be bothering me now? Leave me alone. I have to sit up here and work on me every single day of the week. So it wasn't me picking up on anything. I have to maintain my integrity. I have to maintain myself. I knew it was coming, so I didn't have to pick up anything. I already knew it was coming. I was already in a lockdown environment to begin with, so there was nothing to pick up for me and others who were in my situation. I actually couldn't feel sorry for anybody. Because I'm like, now they get to see how it feels. Literally, that's what I was saying. I got to watch some stupid things, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you can only imagine, even the people in the environment who go through lockdowns all the time, they couldn't handle lockdowns. I've been through a lockdown before. Because when they sit up here and play games with me and send me on vacation, that's the first place they put me is lockdown. I spend the majority of my time in lockdown. So it wasn't nothing new to me. So I didn't have to pick up any habits. I didn't have to revert to anything. I was already in that environment. I already knew that I had to create a routine. And I'm sorry that I didn't emphasize that with people. That you have to create a routine. And you have to stick to that routine. And you have to stick to that routine, and you have to stick to that routine. Because once you stick to that routine, nothing has changed. But if you don't have a routine, you literally will go crazy. So I had something that I did. There was an exercise regimen. I told you guys how the first time I did 144,000 push-ups. Sometimes 10,000 push-ups in a day. Go ahead. Just imagine having that as your routine. Just imagine having that as a routine. You don't have time to focus on anything else because that's your focus. Increasing the number every single day and then having your limit. I think the most I've ever done was 12,000 in one day. I had a lot of time on my hands. Okay. Had a lot of time to focus on a routine. So I just want to say, I understand what you all went through. I'm just sorry that so many people didn't talk to you about creating a routine. And television is not a routine. Yelling and screaming, not a routine. I know. People say that's a routine. They do it all the time, but they shouldn't be doing it all the time. It's not a routine, people. So, how do we go back to the way we were? Oh, we can't. You can't go back to the way you were. You are who you are now. You can only improve who you are now. Are you willing to try? No. Be honest with yourself. Don't sit up there and do that man or woman thing where you gotta show pride. Forget that stupid pride junk. Pride doesn't do nothing for you. I'm so proud of being loved by you. Okay, stop being proud, people. Proud, that don't help you. Are you willing to work on you? Are you willing to improve? So here's what you do. Many of you think that you're not capable of improving. That's your first mistake. Would y'all stop? Leave me alone. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. If they don't just leave me alone, just messing with me. Okay. Well, no, because that's what happens in the morning. My phone be getting all of them things. I have to go to my phone and get rid of that stuff. I get so many messages every time, every day. Lord have mercy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, are you willing to work on you? Well, if you're willing to work on you, go ahead and be honest with yourself. Examine the things about you. Understand who you really are. Understand who you really are. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was a punk back in the day. You heard what I said, punk. I don't mean punk as in punk. I mean punk as in I wasn't always, what do you say? What's the word for it? I wasn't always the reasonable person with people. Man, my mother told me, these are her words, you have some nasty ways about you. And she was right. Ladies and gentlemen, you piss me off, and let's just say I went at you. But I didn't go at you. I went at your, I can't say emotions. I went at your psyche. I went at your psyche to damage you. I didn't damage you physically. In New Mexico. And I'm going to let you know, because I talk about it, but I don't talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, you heard of cow tipping? Man, I would tip cows over with my car at 20 miles an hour. Because I told my neighbor to keep your cows off my yard. Now, my neighbor couldn't keep his cows out of my yard. He couldn't actually control the cows. He would have to sit out there every single day. But I told him, I'm tired of your cows coming up here tearing up things on my property. You need to stop it. And there was nothing he could do. But because he didn't offer, he just looked at me. So I knew that if they come on my property, they're just like any other person who comes on my property. I literally did what I referred to as extrication. I told him, your cows come on my property, I'm going to extricate them. Man, you better believe I chased them off my property and off of my neighbor's property and off of my neighbor's property and off my neighbor's property. I was out there wrangling cows with a Cadillac. I'm not joking. They had to put down several cows. Ladies and gentlemen, primal nature. I don't appreciate that. They had to put down those cows because I kept clipping their legs. I am no different than anybody else. Like I said, I wasn't even thinking about the cows. The cows were just beef. They're going to kill them anyway. That was my mindset. My mindset is that I'm costing him $400 or $500 every single time because these cows, well, they cannot slaughter them when they want to slaughter them. You feel me? They had to slaughter them then. So I'm messing with his economy, his business. Now, he killed 2 of my dogs and a llama. Okay? He killed 2 of my dogs. No, 3 of my dogs. Sorry. Oh, I forgot about the other one. Renturo. Yeah, I had a dog named Renturo. Yeah, you guys know the name. Anyway, and that was my boxer. And my boxer, that was a good dog. But anyway, he killed 3 of my dogs and a llama. So I killed I didn't kill any of his cows. He had to put them down, so he had to kill them. And sorry, I don't mean to laugh because that was the psychology, ladies and gentlemen. That was the psychology. He had to kill them. That was the psychology behind it. And eventually, I let them go. What I'm trying to say is, I have to work every day not to become that person again. Do you understand? I have judges and other people thinking that they can mess with me. I keep trying to tell them, y'all need to leave me alone. I just demonstrated to a group of people on Friday what I did to a sheriff and his deputies when they were messing with me. I told the city, y'all need to leave me alone. They kept messing with me. They spent over $20 million learning a lesson. These things I can prove. This was me. That was more than 30 years ago. Well, no, almost 30 years ago that I did that to them. Almost 30 years ago, over 25 years ago. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's who I used to be. I have to make sure I don't go back to that person. Why do you guys think you hear me talking about people reaping what they sow? I'm not going to make you reap what you sow no more. That's not my job. Remember, he says vengeance belongs to him. I was taking vengeance into my own hands. That was the lesson I had to learn. I had to learn that it wasn't my place. Now, pay attention. You pick up those old bad habits, and for me, that was a bad habit because I did that to everybody. That's why people would beg me to leave them alone. And, sorry, I just keep touching the screen, and you see what happens when you touch the screen? Things just be popping up. And so that's going to pop up again because I done touched the screen. Lord have much. They call it touch screen. See, I told you it's going to pop back up. I told you it was going to do that because that's what it does. Because I touched the stupid screen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening is that was my primal nature. That's how I used to be. And see, what my mother didn't like about it is she knew that I was calculative. She knew that I would think about the best way of paying someone back because I called it paying them back. Oh, no. You spent some time on me and you spent all of that effort trying to mess up my life and cause me problems. Oh, no, I got to pay you back for what you did. No, because you deserve a break today, Mr. McDonald's. You deserve a break today, and I'm about to break you off. Okay? That's what I did. Hey, the people who knew me know me. That's why a lot of people didn't mess with me. I didn't have to attack you physically. And see, the stuff I did, it stayed with you for the rest of your life. The stuff you did doesn't stay with me because I forget about it. You can only do something for the moment. I did things that lasted for decades. And so literally, as I was growing up, people would come to me and beg me, sometimes in front of other people, oftentimes privately, telling me, what is it I can do to see? I've had judges. I tell you about stupid McVeigh, Michael McVeigh. Go look the idiot up out of Arizona, Maricopa County. Phoenix. Go look him up. Michael McVeigh. Tell me in open court. All right already. What is it you want me to do? Oh, I just want you to recuse yourself from this matter. Fine, it's done. Okay, thank you. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not joking with you when I say that that's why a lot of judges hate me. Because I give them my word, I'm not going nowhere. I tell you, that case, I had been going at them. I'm still going to go at him, but not that judge anymore. I let him go. But I've been going at him for over 20 years. And when he said what he said, what is it you want me to do? That was only after 7 months. So when I put myself in that mix that we all picked up habits, yeah, I got to admit, I was not seeking revenge. I was seeking, how do I make these fools understand that I'm tired of them playing games with me? That's the mode I was in. I still have to work on that because that's not my nature. That is my primal nature, but that's not my nature. That's not who I am. That's who I used to be. I haven't done that in a while. Man, we're talking about, almost 17 years. 17 years. But don't get me wrong. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I still got a lot of things that I'm working on concerning me. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let the distractions distract you from working on you. Okay? Because once you get distracted, you will forget the walls you put up to keep yourself from getting out. What? We all have to lock down our own selves. We have to lock down that nature, that part of us that we hide from everyone else. I ain't got time for hiding. And I don't have time for going out there bare naked either. All right? I'm not just going out into the middle of the world and letting them see everything, because there's some things I don't want y'all to see. I don't want y'all to see that part of me. I don't want nobody to see that part of me because, well, the God I serve says he sees everything. I don't want him seeing that part of me out in public. What? The scriptures say everything is openly exposed to him. I don't want to walk out there bare naked, ladies and gentlemen, exposing all of my unmentionables, because I don't mention that stuff to people, that's what I used to do. That's what I used to do. Use and abuse them. Whoa. Then I laid eyes on you. It was pain. Oh, I'm sorry. Tina Marie and Rick James. Fire and Desire. I don't want to do that no more. Not because somebody told me not to do it no more. Not because I rep too much what I sold to not do it no more. I don't want to do it no more because I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to be that. Like I said, my mother, she saw that in me. When she said it, she didn't explain it, and she knew she had to. What do you mean she knew she had to? My mother knew me. My mother knew exactly who I was as a person. You see, she knew that. She would say that from a distance because my mother would see me getting back at people, including my brothers and sisters. See, I couldn't physically get back at my brothers and sisters because my father had a conversation with me. You see how family members fight? My brothers and sisters used to fight all the time. I could not fight them. He told me I was too strong. He told me I would hurt them. So I couldn't fight my brothers and sisters. Now, I did fight my brother, but that was right after my father died. And my mother was away on vacation, visiting my my relatives in Louisiana. So my brother did something after I told him not to. And this is my older brother. And I fought him, but it wasn't really a fight because I was stronger than he was. Now, my brother lifted 310 pounds at the age of 16, deadlift. So he was no weakling. And that was at the age of 16 he did that. Well, at the age of 13, I lifted 315 pounds, deadlift. So my father pulled me to the side and he says, "Boy, you are too strong." And so that's why I couldn't physically fight my brothers and sisters anymore. So I had to come up with another means. I did not fight. I told you all about the story where they're trying to suspend me from school. And the, principal tells my father, and the other kid said that he hit the other. And my father said, "Okay, come on, y'all, let's go." And the principal goes, "I'm not finished talking yet." And my father said, "Oh, yes, you are. Because the moment you tell me that boy hit somebody first, then I know you're lying. And I know they're lying. Because I know that boy, and I know the one thing he would never do is hit somebody first." Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, he was telling the truth. So instead of hitting somebody first, that means somebody was always hitting me first. I didn't want to be fighting with nobody. So I had to come up with a way not to fight with people. And so it was the psychological warfare. Why? Because I would watch movies and I'd love when they would say revenge is a dish best served cold. That is psychological. And so that was the mentality I acquired. You leave somebody to their own thoughts, and you leave somebody to their own thoughts. Hey, I'm not doing this for you guys to get to know me better. I'm doing this for you to get to know yourselves better. You guys went through COVID and you did not have any counseling. Well, some of you went to what they call counseling, but that wasn't counseling because nobody talked to you about that primal nature that each one of you went back to. You see, I have to continue, even during COVID, to not work on that primal nature. Now, I still mentally get back at people, but not to the extreme to where I ruin their psyche. Look, mental revenge is the worst thing in the world you can do to a person. So I have to very much focus on not doing that. And when I'm in that environment, when they put me on so-called vacation, I get to see other people attempting to do this to other people. And I literally have to do things to check that person without physically checking that person. I have to do things that will interfere with what that person is trying to do. Why? Because I mastered it. They are just amateurs. That's why I can see what they're doing, the same as my mother could see. My mother was the same way. My mother wasn't as devious. My mother was the same way. That's why she could see it. What? My mother's the nicest person in the world, ladies and gentlemen, but piss her off. Piss her off. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Piss her off. That's why nobody messed with Sorry, nobody messed with my mother. My mother was no slouch and she was no ignorant fool. Remember, I'm a product of her and my father, a combination. My mother did not play games, but she kept herself in check. I give that woman a lot of credit. What? My mother and I had conversations, okay? We didn't go into a lot of detail, but we had conversations when nobody else was around. Same thing with my other brothers and sisters. My father and mother made it clear to each of us that their relationship with each of us is different. My mother told that to my brothers and sisters all the time. Her relationship with me was different than her with theirs. And so, there you go. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know who you are inside, the part of you that nobody else gets to see on the outside. Okay, work on that. You know what I'm talking about. You know that creature that you become when somebody makes you mad. Why do you think they made the movie The Incredible Hulk? You don't have to turn green. The image of green is only showing you how rotten that side of you is. Why do you think Bruce Banner was always working on that? Why do you think he was always working on not becoming angry? There's a lesson in that story that y'all all need to pay attention to. Don't focus on the special effects, new Hollywood junk. Those of you who are old enough, go back and remember the old show. Remember the old show and remember the conversations that he used to have with other people and how he used to go into hiding. Yes, that's okay to let that part of yourself be in hiding. But some of you didn't have anybody to talk to. And the older people, I am so sorry that many of you had to be alone in your home, that you had to suffer being in prison and never experienced anything like that before. Why? Because you didn't have anybody to talk to. Why? Because nobody wanted to speak to you. It's not that they didn't want to speak to you. They were too busy speaking to all of the other people who needed somebody to talk to. And so you didn't come first. Look, I wasn't there, but I understand. And that's why I say I feel sorry. Not pity, not empathy. I feel sorry that you had to go through that experience. Why? Because you got to see yourself, but then you got angry at everybody else because they left you. They didn't talk to you. They didn't have nothing to do with you. Then the rest of you guys got angry with everybody else because everything changed. There was no more going to the club on Fridays and hanging out and going to the movies. See, that movie thing used to be the thing. And I feel sorry for the generation that's coming up right now. You see how backwards they are for having experienced COVID. They couldn't handle that. Many of them have mental problems as a result of COVID, and nobody's speaking up on that. What? You guys don't see our society having acted the way they've acted since COVID began? Ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to pay attention. Stop being distracted. They're manipulating you. They knew that this would happen, everyone. Y'all really do need to wake up. This is all being controlled and ran by AI. Now, I'm not talking about ChatGPT. I'm talking about what they refer to as AGI. I'm talking about the artificial intelligence that they already have in place that's controlling everything, that's controlling the war. The United States just bombed Yemen. You think that that was some general making that decision? Yemen hasn't been doing nothing to nobody lately, and the United States just bombed Yemen out of the blue. Why? Why? Because the AI doesn't feel. The AI just tells them to do something. They tell them, hey, this will have this effect. This will have that effect. It's all psychological. I can see it, people, because I just explained to you that's what I used to do. Use and abused him, whoa. Then I laid eyes on you. It was, I'm sorry, Rick James and Tina Marie. Fire and Desire. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking back, watching. What? I can see it. Why? Because, pay attention. I just told you that's what I do. Well, used to do. And because that's what I used to do, just like I told you about the people inside the facility, when they would do this to other people, I can see it because I recognize it. I spent so many days, so many hours, so many nights thinking of doing that to people. I can see everything as manipulative. I can see everything as the AI system. I can see that the stuff they're doing, man doesn't think that way. Man has empathy, sympathy, and compassion. Israel's been using an AI. That's why they've been bombing buildings and acting like they don't care. Because they've had no empathy, sympathy, or compassion. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows you have to be deranged to cause pain to another human, to cause suffering. Why do you think they lock people away who murder other people? Why do you think they do that? Because there's something wrong. It's not normal, not natural. You got to protect society from that idiot. The same thing with everything out there that they claim they have to protect society from. Now, look, it's going on 7 o'clock. I got to get up from here, okay? Yeah, I got to get up from here. It's Sunday. Yep, I've been laying here. This is what I do on days like this because I'm not going to stay in nobody's bed all day. I ain't depressed. I just going to take it slow today. I have people that I'm helping with the courts, And everybody wants to be perfect. Y'all don't have to be perfect. You just have to provide a response, ladies and gentlemen. This is tit for tat. They give you a motion. Talking about an order. An order is a motion. The courts cannot order anybody. The courts are public servants. Judges can't order you to do anything unless you fall within their jurisdiction, unless you submit to their jurisdiction. That's why they had to find a way to make y'all submit. Oh, I wish y'all would really pay attention. Then y'all would really learn something. But then if y'all paid attention, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in and they wouldn't be able to control you. But if y'all paid attention, then I wouldn't have to do these videos that I've been doing explaining money and the law and all of that stuff to you. And if y'all paid attention, I'd have a better life. I wouldn't have to do this stuff 7 days a week. Oh, but y'all are not going to pay attention because y'all want to see me suffer and y'all want to apply the very same mental torture to me that I apply to everybody else. And that's what I'm saying. We're back full circle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, gotta let you go. Gotta let you go. Tic tac, any, mini, miny.